back to another video. My name is Molly, but my friends call me Mole, and I run a small sewing business from home called Frock and Mole. Okay, so today I'm going to do a really quick video about how I plan my sewing projects for 2019. And now if there's anything that you think that I could do to improve or any ideas, I'd love to know in the comments because I am totally new to this. So any ideas appreciated. Okay, first of all, I just want to say thank you so much for everyone who subscribed recently. When I last counted, there were 63 subscribers, which might not seem like a lot, but oh, I'm so jazzed, I'm so happy. So thank you so much for anyone who subscribed. And thank you very much to Penguin and Pear, who really kindly commented on a few videos and yeah, has just been really welcoming and kind. And in the podcasts and vlogs that I've listened to, everyone says that the sewing community is really inclusive and everyone's so kind and friendly, and I have found that to be true so far, so I'm super happy. Thank you for anyone who's subscribed to my channel who've come from her channel, and if anyone hasn't checked out Penguin and Pear, go and check it out, it's a great channel. Okay, so first of all I should probably start on this lovely top I'm wearing. So this is the Tilly and the Buttons Nora, and I've made this out of a GOTS organic terry sweat from a company called, I'm probably going to say this wrong from the top of my head, Lieblingskleidung, I think. It's another German company. I will link it below because I probably got that totally wrong, but it's really interesting. So it said it was a sweat. It kind of looks slightly like a terry towel, but it's really comfy. It was in the sale, that's why I bought it. So I was gonna pop it in a fabric stash in February, but I couldn't wait. That seems to be my problem. I was just itching to make something. So the pattern matching, I will show you in the sew and tell, is really nice on this side, and then on this side, not too bad. And then on the sleeve, oh, it's a shambles. So the sleeves are quite long, so I've turned them up. So hopefully, you know, no biggie, no one realised, but the sleeve is totally wonky on this side, but I will show you in the next video. And obviously it's not very structured, so it's quite loose around the neck, which I don't mind really. It's quite comfy. So this is Tilly and the Buttons Nora, but I will pop a link to the pattern down below if you want to make this one. Okay, so like I said, today's video is all about planning my makes for 2019. And now the first thing that I've done, which was a bit of a labour of love, and I'm not quite finished, it's definitely something you probably want to do on a weekend or when you have spare time, is, so Love to Sew podcast, super useful. I was listening to an episode with Karen Templer about planning your wardrobe, and I guess it can apply to planning your makes, and taking pictures of everything you own, which is quite a big undertaking, but I don't have a lot of stuff, luckily. So for those of you who've got a lot of stuff, it might take a while, but I'm not finished, so I guess it's something you can build up as time goes on. So I will pop a link to her blog post down below and to the podcast. It's really interesting, and in the podcast they said you'll want to go and photograph your clothes after you've listened to it, and I totally did. It was really useful. So I'm just going to show you now what I've taken pictures of so far. It's really interesting because you can kind of see everything you have together, sort of the colours you seem to go for, why you've got certain things. There are definitely things that I photographed that I don't like and don't wear, and I suppose I need to think, why don't I wear them and if I can upcycle them. And there are a few things on there that I thought that I can yeah, sort of hack slightly and maybe make them a bit better to suit me. So basically, if I show you now, I have got mainly wintry things that I've done, but I've got sort of jumpers. And so this jumper here, if I find it, it's really nice. So it's like this really nice fluffy is it a tartan or a check? But the cut of the neck is, because it's not got a neckband, it's just one piece, it doesn't fit properly across my chest because I'm quite broad. So I think that's a jumper that I'd like to hack because I really like it, but it just looks terrible on, basically. So that's my first thing that I would like to hack. And then I have got a dress here, which I haven't worn since the summer. I got it from TK Maxx, but I love the print and the colour. It's really nice, but it's, I'm not sure about the shape of it on. So I think I'll either hack it into, so the straps are quite broad, quite thick, and I'm not sure that it really suits me, but I would like to wear it in the winter with t-shirts and polo necks underneath and a nice pair of leggings. So I will either hack that or I will pop it back on and maybe it'll look nicer with a polo. But because there's quite a lot of material there, I can maybe make a skirt out of it or a t-shirt. And then the last thing that I could think of is I have this top here, which I like the print on the front, but it's got a sheer back, and it's like a chiffony organza, but the two colours of the white, they're quite stark against each other because they're not the same shades of white. So I don't really like it. Plus it's really cold in the back. So I'm thinking I might take the front panel off and pop something different in the back. So those are the only things I can really think of doing with these. So if you could think of anything, that would be really useful for me. That would be cool. And then I've just taken pictures of shoes, and I do have a few more shoes. So I've got loads of heels, which I never wear, that I've bought for special occasions, so I never need to buy any more heels. That's for certain. But I have got shoes hidden under the depth of my bed that I need to find, that are in boxes and all sorts. I know I've got a couple more pairs of trainers that I need to fish out at some point, which I probably should wear. And you'll be happy to know that I'm wearing a lovely pair of shoes now that were under my bed that I probably haven't worn for, I don't know, a year? But I'm wearing them today, and I don't know why I stopped wearing them. So it's really useful for sort of refreshing your memory and thinking about the clothes that you already have. So that is my first sort of project for the year to help me plan what I make, because now I can kind of see what I'm missing, what I can add, how I can, if I make something, what it will match to in my wardrobe that I've already got, a few things that I can make. So I can see that I need to make some t-shirts, but I've made a few of those already, and a few polo tops. So I've already made a few Freyas, but I'll pop all of those in my sew and tell next week. So that fills a gap slightly there. Yeah, I've got a few jackets I didn't take pictures of, which I probably should, but I don't plan to make any jackets. I did want to make the Yetta jacket by Republic de Chiffon, but whether I will in time for it to be worthwhile with the cold weather, I probably won't. So yeah, I'm probably not making any jackets, so maybe that won't be too much of a big deal. And I have a really nice pink denim jacket that I picked up from a charity shop last year for £6, which was a real steal. And actually, two of the dresses on here are dresses which I picked up. See, this is the problem with charity shops. They're Topshop dresses, and they were like £5 each, and neither of them fit me. So yeah, I probably need to give those away too, but that's the problem with a charity shop. You think it's a real bargain, but really you don't need it, even though it's in a charity shop, so I should stop doing that as well. Okay, so that's my first thing that I'm doing. Checking my wardrobe, and then I know what I can make. So once I've done that, what I found really useful is on my computer, I have just made a few tabs which are really useful for sort of organising things. So I'll just show you them first. So my first tab is sort of organic GOTS certified fabrics. So there's a list here of companies that I have found, and I'm hoping I can add a few more. There aren't that many UK based ones that I found so far. So if you know of any UK based GOTS certified sustainable fabric companies, let me know, because I think I've only found one so far that's dedicated and another one that sells a few bits and bobs. And then I've got a tab for indie patterns. So these are the companies that I found so far, but I'm sure there are tons more. Let me know. And then commercial patterns. So I've got Simple Sew. I'm not sure if they're a commercial pattern company, but obviously there's Vogue and McCall's and Simplicity, which I haven't had a chance to look at yet really. And then in this tab I have all the things I want to make so far. So there's quite a few things in here. But it's really useful to just be able to click on them and go over to the website. And you'll find that on the website, so obviously they have how much fabric you need to buy and sort of the zips and fastenings and facings and all sorts that you need. So that kind of helps you plan. And then I've got a tab for my sewing blogs that I like to look at. And then a tab dedicated to my Make 9, just so it's easy and it's all in one place. A tab for the fabric that I would like to buy, or a few offers and things that I've seen. A tab for sewing books. Now I already have loads of sewing books, so I probably shouldn't buy any more. Maybe for my birthday I could ask for that one. And then repair techniques. I've only got one so far, and that's Shashiko, which is a Japanese technique to repair. So I've only seen it on jeans, but I don't know whether you could do it on other things, but it's really interesting if you want to check that out. So it's kind of like a decorative repair. And then fashion inspiration on this one. So that's kind of what I have on my computer that's really easy to delve into. And then I will just show you, so the fold line, I'm sure you've all heard of it, really big in the sewing community. They've got patterns and free resources and blogs and reviews and all sorts. It's a really good website. So on this website you can scroll through here and go to the resources, and they have free sewing downloads. So the first thing that I downloaded, and obviously you can hack all of these. I don't know if you can see, can you see that? But it's basically your sewing project. So it has on here, which will be really useful for me, the pattern, the designer, the size you're going to cut, the fabric, the fitting. And what I thought would be useful in here is actually to write how much the fabric cost you and where you got it from. So if you want to go back and use it in the future, you'll kind of have a reference for you. And then it's got a section here to stick your fabric on, which is really useful. Yeah, so obviously you can hack this one. And then this is a fabric stash library download that you can get from their website, which just has fabric width and length. Useful probably to put the price and where you got it from on this one as well, and then more swatches. So that's a really good way to sort of plan everything for you and kind of to know where you've got your fabric from and what you intend to use it for. Okay. And so once you've found your fantastic patterns, this is what I've been doing. So it's really boring, but this is what I did at college. If I turn this the right way around, that would be helpful. It is just a manila envelope, really cheap, sustainable. And so the first page of the PDF I've just stuck on top. And yeah, so if you can think of a way that I can store all of these. I did see on somebody's vlog that they used A5 cardboard wallets, which is probably a really good idea too, but I couldn't find any, so I've just gone for manila envelopes. But if you've got any ideas of how to store your patterns, let me know. And then, so obviously once you've stored your patterns and maybe you want to hack them or come up with your own things, is designing your own clothes. So I mentioned this in last week's vlog, but this is just a fashionary notebook with croquis in, which I will show you, but I'm not sure if they'll show through. I haven't done anything since last week, and you probably won't be able to see this, but underneath there are sort of dotted outlines. So if you're someone like me who's not a very confident drawer, it's really useful to have a silhouette to draw from. And you can get different notebooks with all shapes and sizes, so slightly more inclusive. Yeah, you'll tend to find that in fashion, or when I did fashion anyway, that the silhouettes are like alien ladies with really long limbs and really long legs and not realistic at all. And I think there are a few online apps that you can use. I will link them below. I know there's one called My Body something, but if I find any more, I will link them below for you. And then going along with designing, now this pad is really manky, so don't judge me, but it is a layout pad, which is really useful if you haven't heard of them. And it is just, so the paper inside is a really low GSM, so it's slightly transparent, so not like tracing paper, but almost. And you probably can't see this, but I've got a silhouette underneath there, and you can just pop your designs on here and have a play, which is really useful. Yeah, so that is kind of how I'm planning to plan my sewing. Also, a measurement form, which I think they have on the Foldline website, is really useful. I have one which has fallen on the floor down there, but it's one that I used at uni and I've kind of stolen and yeah, taken for my own. But it's really good to have your measurements written down. Yeah, so that is it really today. So photographing your wardrobe, I highly recommend it. It is an investment in time, but it's just so good to see everything you've got, why you don't wear it, the things you seem to be attracted to, the spaces or gaps in your wardrobe to help you sort of put your capsule wardrobe together, I guess, and to see what you actually need to sew rather than making stuff that you're never going to wear. And then obviously the free downloads on the Foldline's website, but you can make your own. I'm sure there are loads out there. And then the fashion notebooks with the croquis, really useful. And then storing your PDF patterns. Envelopes, really boring. I'm sure you can get funkier ones, but that's kind of where I am. Okay, so hopefully some of that was useful to somebody out there. Next week I will be doing, or next Wednesday, I will be doing my Sew and Tell, which will be my debut modelling. Debut modelling, my first time modelling anything. So I'm not sure how I feel about that. It's going to be interesting because I'm not a very good natural smiler, so they're probably going to be moody. I'm not looking at the camera kind of pictures, but yeah. So next Wednesday, my Sew and Tell. Thank you again everyone who's liked and subscribed and commented. I super appreciate it. Let me know how you want me to improve future videos, any projects you want me to do. If there are any sewing challenges or anything that you've heard of and I probably haven't heard of, pop them in the comments below. And if you just subscribe somewhere down here so that you get the notification about my very exciting video next week with my Sew and Tell, where I will be talking about a couple of jumpsuits that I've made and some t-shirts and a dungaree dress. Yeah, I'm not sure if there's anything else, but I've kind of made quite a few things, so stay tuned for that video next week. Bye everyone!